What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 76, and we start today's episode off with a game against Real Sociedad here, back in La Liga on the weekend. Of course, on Thursday night we faced Galatasaray in our second leg of our round of 32 clash in the Europa League, and we won it by 2-1, and we won the first leg in Turkey by 1-0. So winning that tie by 3-1, going through to the round of 16, very pleased with that. But of course, the league is still a very important aim for us this year. We are desperate to finish in the top 4, but there would still be 11 changes made to the team for this game, because quite frankly, as I've mentioned many times before, we just don't have the resources here to keep all of these players fit, because their stamina just isn't high enough and they get fatigued really quickly. So 11 changes being made to the side, and it showed really, because I just looked completely off the pace in this game from the start. Pacheco had to make a good save there, and the first chance was a free kick which went wide, but Sociedad had a far brighter start than us. However, in the 41st minute we had a great chance to take the lead with Andy Kappa getting past Gonzalez here with a roulette. But his shot hits the side netting and goes behind for a goal kick. So still goalless, and with 20 minutes to go it was still goalless. Alvaro's crossing into the box found Rano Delgado. It was headed away only as far as Gavan, back to the number 9, and his shot goes just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. And that was how the game would finish. A 0-0 draw, pretty uneventful in all honesty. I mean, both teams had a couple of chances here and there, but a goalless draw was probably a fair result, and we'll take it as a good point in all honesty. I mean, at the end of the day, we had 11 changes being made to the team. We were away from home. Sociedad aren't a bad side at all. We'll take a goalless draw, even though it may seem quite as a poor result for us, considering how well our season's been, considering the amount of changes we had to make. You know, I'm happy with a goalless draw. It's another point towards our aims of qualifying for the top 4 at the end of the season. Qualifying for the top 4, I always say that. Finishing in the top 4, and we'll have to wait and see whether it turns out to be a good point or 2 points dropped come the end of the year. Still following that, an international management offer from Venezuela, and of course we say no. Obviously, I keep on mentioning it, you know, we seem to get international management offers every episode now, or every other episode at least. I keep on mentioning it. We're still holding out for the Spain job. I don't know when they're going to come in. Of course, if Spain don't come in for us, it's going to make this series completely pointless, because the whole point of the series is to manage these players for club and country. But we'll have to wait and see. We're holding out for the Spain job, and maybe soon. Still, we take on Athletic Bilbao for the second of 3 games in today's episode here, taking on our rivals away from home, and we take the lead very early on in this game. And I thought it was a goal scored by Paco Candela. Iosa Perez crossed the ball in and Candela went for the header, but instead, how about that for a header by DeMarcos? What a fantastic header past his own goalkeeper that is by DeMarcos. That was just fantastic. A brilliantly composed header there, looping it over the goalkeeper into the bottom corner and past the despairing dive of the Athletic Bilbao teammate there, as it's 1-0 to Racing Santander. So an own goal being scored for us there by one of our rival team's players, and it was DeMarcos with the own goal. So 1-0 to Racing Santander, pretty fortunate. But in the 41st minute, Bilbao tried to get back here with Susaita's strike. That's a terrible pronunciation. Susaita, not sure how you pronounce it, but this shot well saved by Ruben Blanco. And from that we went on a break. Jesse Rodriguez finding Iosa Perez. Perez turns his man here and tries to play it back out wide towards Jesse Rodriguez and succeeds. He takes it round his man with the Ronaldo chop, cuts inside and shoots with the left foot, but the goalkeeper makes the save and it is cleared away by Bilbao. So still 1-0 to Racing Santander, but really we were looking quite strong in the first half, and this was the real, it just showed why it's so important to rest your players as much as possible, because in this game every player seemed so fresh and full of energy, and that's why we were holding on to this 1-0 lead. But in the 60th minute here, just before the hour mark, Athletic Bilbao go down the left hand side and cross the ball into the centre, and Dybala's header goes just wide of the post and behind. So still the travelling fans were celebrating, still the lead was 1-0 to us, but Bilbao were getting back into the game. Rubinho went close here with this shot, well saved by the goalkeeper, and it was still 1-0. And in the 72nd minute again, Bilbao come down the left hand side with Susaita. He's tackled by Diaz Miguel, but unfortunately, sometimes I'll make mistakes, and it just has to be one of those moments where I'll look at it back on the footage and say, what was I trying to do there? What was I trying to do there? Because I won the ball back with Diaz Miguel, our right back, played it back to one of our centre backs, Concha Salas, a new signing in January, who has actually been really good for us since coming in for £600,000. But that was just really, really poor. I mean, I tried to pass it back to Ruben Blanco. I didn't put enough power on it, and it went straight to the striker, who literally couldn't miss. So hold my hands up. There's only one person to blame for that goal, and that was me. Really, really poor. But again, it's just a mistake. You know, everyone makes them, and that's just how it is. So 1-1, and Bilbao are back on level terms. But in the 81st minute, I didn't really feel like I made any errors for this goal. It was just a simple cross into the box and a great header as well. Athletic Bilbao take the lead and turn the game on its head with 10 minutes to go there. The cross into the box, and what a fantastic header as well. I thought at first that Ruben Blanco might have been a little bit disappointed as the header did creep in at the near post, but it was quite ferocious. The power was pretty strong there, and I think it would be kind of harsh to blame the goalkeeper. Maybe considering how good he's been this year for form, he might have been getting a glove on it on another day, but in the end the power was quite ferocious from the header, and I don't really think you can blame him, to be honest. But still, Ibai Gomez does make it 2-1, and Bilbao do indeed take the lead for the first time in this game. And in the 90th minute here, as Bilbao are holding on for dear life to get the 3 points and get revenge on us after what happened at El Sardinero, Delgado off the bench gets on the ball and scores his first goal for the club and makes it 2-2. So he came off the bench. Unfortunately, I couldn't find where the substitution happened, and I actually accidentally deleted the tactics change, which I sometimes show. But he came off the bench and he scores his first goal. Of course, he is on loan from Villarreal, and I have mentioned that we do have a £1 million future fee arranged with Villarreal at the end of the season to take him to the club permanently if we wish to do so. And this was only his third appearance for the club. But in the other 2 games, ironically, the first game for us was against his parent club, Villarreal. He scored a disallowed goal, and he looked pretty strong against Sevilla. The second game he played, he didn't score in that game. He did look quite strong. And in this game, you know, scoring the equaliser in stoppage time against our rivals away from home, he actually looks like a pretty decent striker. 6'2" as well, gives us a bit more of an option in the air. Not too many of our players are physically strong in the air, at least the offensive players. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking about possibly taking up the £1 million future fee at the end of the season with Villarreal, and if he can score very important goals like that one, he'll certainly be getting taken to the club permanently, because that was a really important goal for us. You know, that would have been our second loss in 3 league games, and we just quite frankly can't afford to do that. So yeah, pretty pleased that he came off the bench, scored an equalising goal, and we need to make sure we do get back to winning ways right now, because we're in a very inconsistent run of form. We haven't won a league game in 4 games. We are beginning to stutter a little bit, you know, and I'll hold my hands up and admit I haven't been playing very well with the team. But in general, it's been pretty negative for us, because in the first half of the season, we won the vast majority of our games in the league. We were just firing away. You know, don't forget, we were top of the table for a little bit. But, you know, now, in the second half of the season, as we've mentioned March, so you can take a look at the squad report and the league table as well, we've begun to hit a bit of a stumbling block right now, and I'm not too worried. I'm still very confident about our chances of finishing in the Champions League places in the top 4. But this little patch of form we're on in the league is a little bit worrying for me. I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, we're going to start to slip up a little bit and begin to struggle. As you can see in the league, we have only lost 2 times this season, but as you can see, with 58 points right now, 10 draws. That's the big figure there. 10 draws. That's more than any other club in the top 6. And the reason that's so important is because 1 point is better than 0, obviously. But to drop 2 points in so many games, it adds up. You know, it always adds up at the end of the season. And there's only a few points separating us now in 5th place. And obviously 4th place. We're in 3rd right now. So it's not going to take too many games for other teams to catch us up if we keep on slipping up. So we need to get focus. We need to start winning more games. Otherwise, the dream of finishing in those Champions League places could just disappear before our very own eyes. Still, we take on Sporting Gijon for the 3rd and final game of today's episode here. And Sporting Gijon currently sitting in 19th place, so very confident that they'll probably be getting relegated come the end of the season. And with us being at home in this game, I really did fancy our chance of getting back to winning ways, exactly what we needed here at El Sardinero. And I did make 10 changes to the team as well, as we had our Europa League round of 16 tie against Genk in midweek. So I thought I'd make 10 changes. Blanco was the only one to survive. I think I said 11 there, didn't I? Still 10 changes to make to the side. Blanco, the only player that is in the usual first 11. And well, the first chance did fall to Sporting Gijon, but that header went wide of the post. But from the goal kick, we passed our way out from the back, and Mamadou Tunkara opens the scoring 24.5 minutes in and makes it Racing Santander 1, Sporting Gijon 0. So it's exactly what we wanted, an early goal in this game to settle the nerves and give us hefty early lead. So Tunkara getting the goal, who's actually scored more goals than Ioza Perez this season, if you can believe that. So he makes it 1-0 regardless, and we do take the lead in the game. And in the 61st minute, it was still 1-0. It was a very poor game, to be honest. It seemed to get lost in the middle of the park, and it was still 1-0. But as Carmona goes down the right-hand side here, he takes it around Myung-ju, plays it inside towards his man, who finds Perez, and Perez strikes it and gives Sporting Gijon a shock equaliser here at El Sardinero and stuns the home crowd. And it looked as though again we were going to slip up and lose 2 points, drop 2 points from a winning position. So really frustrated there. I have to say Blanco probably should have saved it. It was straight at him, but the shot did go past him via a deflection, well, off his legs and into the back of the net. So Racing Santander 1, Sporting Gijon 1, and the away side are back on level terms. But in the 86th minute here, there was going to be massive relief, because Christian Fernandez came off the bench and made it Racing Santander 2, Sporting Gijon 1. And as you'll see, we do hold on for the win and claim our first 3 points in La Liga in quite a few games. You know, failing to win this game would have been unacceptable. We had to go back to winning ways in this game. We left it late. We got quite fortunate as they pushed way too many bodies forward. But, you know, a win's a win, quite frankly. And we are still in the top 4 as things stand, as the games... not too many to go in La Liga, let's just say that. And I'm starting to feel the pressure. Can we hold on to our place in the Champions League? Here's hoping. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.